Hey party people, Andrew here at SHOT 2025, hanging out with Brett at the HUXWRX booth. What do you got that's new this year?
So SHOT Show 2025, we have some brand new products, not reiterations of current product lines, but brand new products for the rest of the market. So first I'm going to talk about the Flow 9K Ti, 3D printed titanium, still flow through, as you come to know and love from Hux. The end looks a little bit different. We still incorporate our Geo flash cap, but you also now have wrench flats in the end. So if you want to have a longer handguard than your rail, you can SD style mount it, tighten it up with a wrench, or if you're trying to manipulate some of the fittings that go on the back end, you can use this for wrench leverage as well. This is 300 super rated out of a 9mm can, no minimum barrel length, and it is full auto rated. So it'll take all the abuse you can give it.
Full auto rated with no minimum barrel length.
Yes.
That's
correct.
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Is this what it looks like inside?
Very similar. That's more around the Flow 762 Ti platform, but it's very similar technology. It is optimized a little bit different for pistol-based use, but it is very similar.
Is it fair to say, so the exact dimensions and orientation of the elements would be different,
right?
But more or less the same type of elements are included?
Yes, it is still flow through.
Cool.
So getting back real quick to the back end, and I'll jump into the flow through aspect of it. It is Bravo on the back end, so any hub muzzle device you want to put in the back, you can to put it on your 300 Blackout Super or Sub. This reducer ring allows you to then bring it down to pistol, piston, thread, to be able to tri-lug it, put a piston or a direct thread in the back end as well.
Oh,
so
wow. So, may I?
Both, yeah, absolutely.
So, this part threads out, and this part also.
Right, this ring you see here unthreads from the suppressor here, and you take the whole thing, and now it's Bravo.
That's cool.
So you can utilize both thread applications for multiple weapon mounts. Yeah.
Probably
really
can't
great
do it
can.
with my fingers because I'm not strong enough.
We wrenched them on pretty tight earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a strong
Keeps
dude,
stuff
but
from walking off,
it
doesn't
does,
it?
yes. Going into the flow through real quick, you were asking earlier about the 3D print. It still uses flow through, still the back and forth flow of the gas, putting the excess gas and debris out the front of the suppressor. That way your MP5, you don't have to change the locking piece out in it. If you're running AR9, you're not changing buffer weights because they're already very picky about buffer weights. Or if you're running a Glock or an FN9 of some sort with an RMR, you're not getting all that soot and debris blown back on the lens of your RMR. You're trying to wipe it off after 10 rounds. So a massive help for the end user, obviously from the health standpoint, bringing all debris in, but also weapons health. For professional end users, obviously it keeps your gun running cooler, cleaner, longer. For those of us who aren't necessarily professional but love to think that we are when we're on the range, it lets us have a little bit more fun without breathing all the toxic metal and heavy gases in.
Yeah, if you haven't shot suppressed, no matter what company makes it, honestly, on almost any host, you're going to get some kind of gas back in the face. And it varies depending on the host and depending on the suppressor design, but no matter what you shoot, there's going to be some there, and the stuff that's in it is just obviously there's the lead, but there's the mercury, and then there's just a whole
ammonia,
host of
hydrogen cyanide. There's a lot of it.
Every one of them is known to the state of California to cause cancer, right?
Yes, they do. We jump into its bigger brother. This is the Range 36 Ti, so 3D printed one-piece titanium, much like the Flow 9K Ti. So has our Geo flash cap, wrench flats in the end, slightly bigger ports. This can is 338 Lapua mag rated.
Wow!
But it is light enough you can put you can put a pistol assembly in the back end, hanging out the front of your handgun, and it will not induce malfunctions. Yeah. It's essentially a dual suppressor.
You're saying this doesn't need a booster on a handgun?
No, it needs a booster, but generally when you hang a Magnum rifle-rated suppressor
okay,
on
gotcha.
the front of a handgun, you start having problems because the weight is too much for the
Gotcha.
handgun.
Even with the booster, it's not giving enough recoil impulse to
on a heavy
along
can.
with
With
the tilting.
this, we solve that problem. So you can take a Magnum-rated rifle can and put it on a pistol with a tilting barrel, and it cycles just fine.
And because it's the board diameter is 35-ish, you can get
36,
9 millimeter.
still run 9 mil through it. Yeah. So 9 mil, the guys that want to run like little VZ Scorpions, 32 ACP, right? You want to get into lever guns, run 38 Special, 357, run that through it as well. MP5s, that can is amazing on an MP5, all the way up to your 300 Blackout, your 5.56, all the way to 338 Lapua mag.
So you can run it fixed on rifles and PCCs. You can run it with a booster on most handguns.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. So people who don't have a can yet always, it's kind of like a gateway drug because your first can, you're going to be like, I want to do all the things with it. And you get that, and you realize you can't really do all the things with it. This will get a lot closer.
Yes, that'll actually make it still fun doing all the things. Yeah. So for people, if it's their first can, when I first got an FA 15 years ago, I was told buy a 30 cal can and 22 can first. Those are the first two you get because
Solid.
22 is the cheapest, most fun,
Yep.
and 30 will run everything else you want to run and then build from there.
Yep.
And this really, I mean, this solves all the issues that people were having trying to use a dual 30 cal can or a large bore can on a pistol.
Well, it solves the pistol part of it,
Yes.
at least, because my experience, I think, is fairly typical, is that I got a 5.56 can, and then I got a 22 can, and then I actually made a homemade 30 cal can. So obviously the next gap that I have to fill is a 9mm or 45 or
Right.
something for pistol type can. And this will allow a person to come into the market from the beginning and be able to run on almost all. I mean, you could run 22 through it.
Yeah, you could. You technically could, for sure.
You'll probably get better suppression and a way smaller.
Yes.
Because you can suppress 22 easily with much smaller
Much
diameter
less
than
volume.
this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could, probably not ideal for 22. All right, so these, well, these are never going to be available to the public.
That's available to public. Oh, cut away, yeah.
When are these going to be available?
So these are shipping to dealers now. These will start shipping in middle to end of February.
Okay. The tube of use gets big feels when we talk about things that involve currency.
Yep.
So rather than doing that and getting me kicked off of the tube of use, if I were to give you a bunch of pickles for it, maybe I want to trade some pickles for a whisper pickle, how many pickles would I need to get a whisper pickle?
Under 1,000 pickles.
About, okay, so under 1,000 pickles.
under 1,000
Is that with
pickles.
a mount?
That's with the Hub 2.0 mount, the new one.
Sweet. Under 1,000 pickles with a mount is a pretty decent
Yeah,
price.
yeah, very good.
Brett, thanks for putting
Always
up with
fun.
my crap.
Thank you so much.
Laughing at my unfunny jokes. Thank you guys for watching. I love you.
Thanks, guys.